The shoulder is a really crucial part of the arm swing. Our audience is absolutely going to see the rise and fall of the shoulder along two different orientations. As we swing our arm forward, our shoulder is naturally going to rotate to the front. But at the same time, our body is also rising and falling. So there's also a dip in the shoulder. We kind of walk and waddle going down the street like this a little bit. So the shoulder is an important detail that we really need to zero in on. And at this stage, with just the basic keyframes in there, it's an excellent time and opportunity to really start establishing this really neat curve, because it actually works in a small figure 8 pattern as we go across all of our animation frames. Just to kind of catch you up, this is what I got so far. I haven't really messed around with the in-betweens, just blocked out the major keyframes for my animation. Yeah, and you can see my shoulder is jumping all over the place because we still need to figure out those in-betweens. So let's go ahead and start doing it real fast. All right. So as we go through the process of working with the in-betweens, we're going to pay real close attention to the height. I'm going to do an entire pass on height first, so that way it looks like it moves correctly, just horizontally across our animation. And then I'm going to go back in and do the vertical to get that trough, that curve going up and down. If you do this in passes, it's not that bad. If you try to do it all at once, you're likely going to get confused. So let's kind of jump in real fast and do it. Okay, so I'm going to only work in groups of keyframes, just making sure that I'm transitioning between that keyframe and that keyframe the best. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Yep. Okay. It's going to be, it's a challenge, no doubt, because we have a lot of onion skinning going on for both the body, these other parts. Here's kind of a neat little suggestion, and this is something that could help you if you find yourself kind of lost in the onion skinning. One of the things that we can do inside of our viewport properties, our viewport overlays, is that we can turn on fade layers. With fade layers enabled, only the active animation layer is going to be seen at 100% opacity, and all of the other layers are going to be kind of transparent. This is kind of nice little ghosted. It's not going to have a big impact on the onion skinning, but these small changes could help you see your drawings a little bit more clearly. I want to turn mine back on. I've kind of gotten used to seeing these onion skins. And of course, we could always go into our data layers, our object data properties, and turn off these onion skins. Okay. If you want to just do it visually, I think that's fine too. All right, here we are on frame 1. Remember, we're going to do the horizontal edit, and then we'll go back in and do the vertical edit. So we're going to grab everything on this layer, and I'm just going to do, what we're going to do is just use the grab tool. Okay, so that's the target. Let's check. I need a couple more onion skins. I need to be able to see the next keyframe. Just one ahead. So this onion skin is the target because it's only seeing the keyframe here on frame 4. So I need to transition between that drawing and that drawing. Okay, let's do it real fast. Grab X. I'm going to move it forward slightly. Then go to the next drawing. Grab X. Move it forward slightly. Okay. Cool. We're getting there. Now let's do the up and down. Okay, we're doing it in passes. We move it horizontally, and now we move it vertically. That way we're not confusing ourselves as to where we're going with all of this. Now you can see from frame 4 that it's going to go down. I'm actually going to work backwards from frame 4. That'll help me understand where I need to place frame 2 very directly. Because here on frame 3, I can exclusively only see the onion skin target of the keyframe on frame 4. So let's grab it. This time we're going to move it down just on the Z. And we want to produce the idea that it's going down. So I'm not going to do the exact same position. I'll have it to be ever so slightly up. If you want some fine-tuned movements as you're shifting all these elements around, hold the shift key. It's going to move it very slowly. Now let's test it. Here's frame 4. We're going back in time now. Here's frame 3, frame 2. Yeah, and now we just see the target of frame 3 here. Grab Z. We're not going to have it be completely down, but somewhere right around in there. So here's frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, and frame 4. Now, I think I've made a little bit of a mistake on frame 2. I think I've pushed it too far down. Look at the distance between the top of the neck, or excuse me, the base of the neck and the top of the shoulder. Excuse me. It's really huge. Over here on frame 1, not that big, and then it really dips. So I think I've missed it. We want to make sure that we're generally trying to keep these proportions the same, even though it is dipping down a little bit. maybe, I think it's just maybe a little too low. Yeah, maybe I missed it right about in there. It's dipping down. We're seeing a nice curve. Yeah. All right. Let's see how that reads. We've just done 2 keyframes. I haven't posed the rest of the arm because I need to nail the shoulder first. Where the shoulder goes, the rest of the arm goes. So if we get the shoulder detailed out with all the in-betweens, the rest of the arm is going to kind of take care of itself as we figure out how to pose the arm in those moments. Yeah, I'm just looking at the first little bit here. Yeah, and I'm liking that. Just a couple frames. I think I might make an adjustment on frame 2. I want to move it back a little bit. If you look at where it was on frame 1, it's really back. And then it goes pretty far here on frame 2. So let's make a change. Let's just shift it back a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I might do the same thing on frame 3 as well. Yep, there it is. Okay. Let's move on to the next group of keyframes, because as the character goes down, we need to really pay attention to where it goes up, because this is the down pose. This is the lowest the body is going to be on our character. So let's do frame 5. We can see the onion skin target of where we need to go on frame 6. Let's grab everything. Okay, this is how far forward it's going to be. So let's do the horizontal first. Grab X. Just a little bit of a move. Grab X, a little bit of a move. Let's evaluate. Does it make sense? There's frame 4. I'm stepping forward up to frame 7. Yeah, I'm looking at the left, right. Now let's do the up, down. Now at the bottom here, the timing, the spacing is going to be a little bit closer. And as we go into 6, this is where we need to start moving it up a little bit. And I'm looking at the distance between the top of the shoulder and the body itself. Yep. See how it curves? There's a little bit of an arc. We should always be trying to make a little bit of an arc in these movements. Because the body is moving up and down, it's not going to be a consistent arc, like a perfect pendulum. It's gonna be wobbly since the body's moving down. But we always want to make an arc in there. And that's why we're doing these little clumps of keyframes. We're not trying to do all of the keyframes at once. We're focusing our energy and attention on just the keyframes in these pairs. So let's do 8 real fast. This goes real fast. So here it is, the target on frame 10. So we have quite a distance that we need to travel up and down. Not so much on left and right. Because remember the function of this. We're going from the passing pose here to the peak pose. The character's primarily going upwards in this movement in time, not so much left and right as we saw when we were physically taking a step right around the down pose. All right, let's go to frame 8. Let's start figuring out what this is going to be. This time, I think I'm going to do the vertical. Let's grab it, move it up. Yeah, I may even grab it, move it up even a little bit more. Let's go back to frame 8. See how we're working? Yep. Let's evaluate. Here's frame 7, keyframe. Frame 8, the arm shifted forward a little bit more than I wanted to. So let's bring it back. Here's 9. Yep, that's good. And then 10. Let's play it. See how we're jiving here. We want to catch these mistakes early on. If something doesn't look right now, it's going to be much more difficult to fix these errors at the end of the process. Let's do one more. Let's do one more group between 10 and 13, and then I'm going to continue working on this on my own, because I know this is kind of like watching paint dry to a certain degree. But there are some important principles in here. So from 10 to 13, remember that what's happening to the total character in this movement. We're moving our character down. It's going down into the contact, which is going to be the midpoint on that wonderful movement arc on the hips. So our shoulder is going to be moving down as well. Okay, so on frame 11, let's grab everything and let's really move it down. Same with on frame 12, we'll move it down. There it is on frame 13. Now we missed it a little bit, but that's okay. We actually overshot it on frame 12. because on frame 12, or excuse me, frame 13, I apologize. Frame 13, the shoulder's way up here. And we really can't see the onion skin at the moment because the drawing is blocking. Drawing's blocking it. So I want to have it maybe be right in here. Let's give that a go. Yeah, the proportions grew a little bit too much here. We just dislocated our shoulder. Let's move it up just a little bit. So try hard to look at those proportions. If it's off ever so slightly, no one's really going to notice it, but it was really off. It looked like I had completely disconnected my shoulder before. As I start to flip through all these pages, all these frames, excuse me, I'm just using the arrow keys on my keyboard. I'm really looking at the movement of the arm and trying to see if at the very least it's a consistent movement. And yeah, well, I've gone past what I've done so far. If it looks like, yeah, on frame 7, I may want to even go in and adjust it a little bit. If it's not a consistent curve, it's not going to look real. It should look like it's generally kind of going from the back to the front with a dip in the middle. Let's play it in real time. Flipping through individual frames is never going to give you the entire result. So let's play it in real time, see how it looks. And I'm going to focus just on the first 12 frames here. Or for 13 frames, excuse me. Hit the P key, draw out a selection box in my timeline. That way I'm only playing the first 13. Yeah, there's a little bit of a bobble in there. I'm looking at the top of the shoulder. A little bit of a bobble in there. I'm going to go back in and continue to refine that. But generally speaking, we're going in the right direction. Since we have the shoulder generally kind of in the area that I want it to be, now I can go in and start posing the rest of the arm. The key poses on 1, 4, 7, 10, and 13 are really great targets for us to interpolate between. The type of interpolation that we're going to be doing for the rest of the arm is a little bit easier than it was with the legs. It's almost kind of a linear interpolation as we just generally slowly swing our arm backwards and forwards. But nailing that shoulder is really important because the rest of the arm is going to take the cues from the location of that shoulder.